What's up, guys? Josh the Nerdy Vapor back at you again. Here, the Freak Show. Alright, so yeah, back with another RDA. This time it is the Freak Show, made by Wotofo. It is a nice, very, very nice RDA. I can't remember the price on it now. Oh, I want to say it was $34.99 as well, like what the CLT 2 Plus was. Don't quote me on that. I will put a link in the description to most likely Eciggity, because I think that's where I got it. It's between the 25 to 35 range. I know that. Great deal. Oh, great flavor. It is a good deal. It's another similar to that CLT2 where you get that cheap budget non-clone RDA. Alright, so let's bring it down close. I'm just going to re-wick it for you. I'm going to show you, the coils that I have in there. You do have to do a center post build. So I'll show you what I built in there. I'm not going to rebuild it right now. And that's about it. And then we'll come back up and we'll talk about it, vape it a little bit more, and I'll give you my pros, cons, and final rating for it. Alright? Let's go. Alright guys, up close with the Freak Show. Let me focus it a little bit. Try and get the lighting better on there so you can see the Freak Show, which apparently does not want to work for me today. Alright, so you can kind of see it there. It's got this skull that is eating a dagger with Freak Show. On the bottom, made by Wotofo, your serial number, Freak Show again. Non-adjustable pin, not a big deal. Now here's where you have your Cyclops air slots that are way down below. And that is because of the fact that the air is coming underneath the coil. Up top, it's just, you have your conical top here with a peak insulator, or Delrin insulator actually, I believe, which does help keep it cool. It does not come with the drip tip, but the heat fins also keep this kind of cool. Then inside you can kind of see everything in here. Let's see here. You can see you have to basically do a center post build. Let me actually attach this onto a mod. I can pull that off for you. Okay. So here you go. You have 3 O-rings to keep that down. And then you have your center post build here. Basically, you have your coils. Come on. There we go. You have your coils that sit over these airflow channels right here. You have a pretty deep juice well up in here. And what you want to do is you want to keep your coils, see how mine are inside, not directly over these air holes. The point of that is when it's directly over, I feel like I get a lot more leaking because the fact that it's sitting right over that big slot and it kind of just, drips down there. You can even mince out a little bit. It does help with that. And you still, once you get the outside portion on here, the air is just pushing in, so you're not really having an issue with it not getting the proper airflow. But I do recommend keeping it inside just a little bit. Inside you got like I said, a decent juice well. It does have the hex screws. It's kind of a pain in the ass, to be honest, but at the same time, I do find that they do not back out at all. So when this is going in, you never have to worry about tightening your screws again. I've had only a few breaking of the wires. You just got to be careful with that, but not as bad as like the CLT was. But the airflow basically comes right up under here and comes right out here. And then this is adjustable airflow. So when you do put it on, you can, here, once I get it on, I'm not going to be able to, come on. You son of a bitch. Screw it back on a mod. Sometimes it does get stuck. So basically you have to set it. It's really hard to set after it's on there. So you do have to set it basically with this off and keep pulling it off every time you want to change it. But You know, if you wanted to have this down, you know, half airflow, you would just basically put it like this and push, and then you got only half that coil, or half the air hole exposed. And this does get pretty airy. You still get great flavor regardless, but it does get pretty airy. Alright, so I'm not going to rebuild the coil, obviously. I will re-wick it again. Okay, so we'll put the Vapor Shark away. Let's add this on the magneto top and get that out of the way. Keep that sitting up. Alright, and there we go. Japanese organic cotton. Okay. So now what you want to do is you want to cut it just a little bit overhanging off the edge of the deck. Terrible scissors. And that's looking about good. This side is actually a little way too long here, so. Alright. Good enough. And then you want to, again, you don't want to block this airflow. So what you want to do is you want to just tuck it down behind the coil, or behind into that deck there, behind the airflow spot, and just get it in there pretty good. You don't have to really pack it, but it'll sit in there pretty nice. Get that in there. That in there. And there you go. Easy peasy. Alright. Alright, so it's all cottoned. Let's juice her up a little bit. We're going to use some Whiskey Rebellion, Old Fashioned. And we're just going to juice her on up. Now when you're juicing, that's the most important part. When you are putting your juice on this, you do not want to drip directly on this coil. You kind of want to get it right behind the coil. And that's a terrible view, but there you go. You want to get it behind the coil. Otherwise, it will just drop down into that airflow channel, and you will get leaking everywhere. When I get it decently saturated, I kind of just lightly do the outside of the cotton here to make sure it's getting wet. And then what I will do is I will put the top on it, and I'm going to put it on and close it about halfway. Alright, and then when I drip, I'm just going to drip right down basically onto that middle post and make sure that's all saturated in there, because obviously you don't want to vape anything dry. There we go. Put the top on, drip tip. Now let's take it out and let's vape on it. Alright, there you go. So you went up close. One thing I should have mentioned, the outer barrel is a very, very, very thick stainless steel. Feels top-notch, high quality. The engraving, it's not engraved, it's like laser etched for that skeleton, which is fine, whatever. It hasn't rubbed off yet, so. But it is a very thick, and it feels sturdy. It feels like it's made well. Alright, so I'm going to start with the cons. First con, no single coil option on mine. That is not really a con anymore. I have found out that they have released another one that does have a third eyelet that you can use basically a single coil option on. It's the version 2, I guess you want to call it. I don't know if they're calling it that or just an updated version. Mine doesn't have it. So originally that was on my con list, and then I found that out, so there you go. That's taken right off. Con number 2 is the hex screws. You know, that could be a con, it could be a pro, because they do actually work very well. They don't back out on you, so there is a plus to using them. But you have to have that Allen key, and that can just be a pain in the ass if you needed to change your coils or something out and about and you don't have that with you. it must be a center post build, really, to get the most out of anything that you're doing. It has to be a center post build, and not a huge deal if you're decent at building center post. But I know some people are just, they want, you know, 2 coils that are easy to do and not worry about the bending. So, you know, again, it's a subjective con. The last con I really have is, it's a con that's kind of 2. It has a much higher potential to leak because of how the airflow is and the way it sits, and the juice kind of can just pour right out the eyelet. Now, if you build it the way that I showed you, or that you saw my build in there, it definitely doesn't leak as much. It will leak if you over drip, which any RDA does, but it is that little extra bit prone to leaking. But even without leaking, I have found there's a lot of condensation that just kind of comes out of those air holes. Not, you know, e-liquid pouring out or leaking, but if you're vaping it on a box or something and you can actually see, it looks like taking a Windex in mist mode and just spraying it on there. A little bit of condensation coming out of that. I wish there was a better way to get rid of that, you know, maybe raise up the airflow a little bit off to get it kind of like the billow. If you've ever seen that, it's going to be, has a little, the air hole is raised above. So, anyway, that's the final con, is it does have the leak and everything like that. Hold on, I need a vape. Some dang good juice. Alright. Now to the pros. Flavor. Awesome flavor. Picture K-Fun times 10. You know, it's amplified. It's got that same bottom air design that's coming straight up underneath the coil, and it gives it a very, very rich flavor. Excuse me. Looks, in my opinion, I think there's nothing fancy about it, but it just looks good. You know, it looks well built. It's classy looking. I guess that's how I can say it. So there's that. You do have color options. You have black, you have silver, you have white. I think there's a bronze and a copper. Not bronze, brass. Possibly, I could be making that one up. I believe there's a copper though. So you do have a lot of color options with this as well. Again, the build quality, the thick stainless steel, it's good. It's very, very well built. Large airflow, obviously. You have the big holes that can come up. You get a lot of air. Nothing like the CLT or anything like that, but it gives you a lot of air. But on top of that, it's giving you that great flavor. And I think that's a win-win. And that's half closed off. So it is 22 millimeters, so it does sit flush. No adjustable pin, but most mech mods or anything that you would want it to sit flush on for 22 mils is going to have some kind of adjustability to it, so it'll still sit flush. And a decent juice well to it. The juice well, it's decent. You know, I'd say I get about maybe 6 drops each side, and I think that's mainly because I'm afraid to over drip and have it leak out, so I may be doing it a lot less, and my cats are going crazy and fighting. Jesus. So, I mean, I don't put as much in as I probably could, but it does have a decent sized juice well. And then there's the price. Again, it's under $40 for a good RDA. It did come with some machine oil, more than normal from what I'm used to, and that could be a con, but, you know, you just rinse it off, you clean it with some Dawn, let it sit there and soak. So, not a huge deal, but for the price, what you're getting is a steal. It is a very, very, very flavorful RDA that has a lot of airflow as well, which is hard to find, except for like the plume veil. It's hard to find those. Usually you're sacrificing one for the other. This is a very good medium to both. So, it did come only in this box. That's it, just a little box. And inside you get some O-rings and some extra hex screws. But that's it, you know, nothing fancy. But again, what you're getting for, or what you're paying for is the mod, or the RDA. Anyway, long day again. So, I have a feeling Saturday I might be able to make a video. I don't know. Tuesday, next Tuesday, I have a feeling I'm gonna be doing what came in my vape mail today, which would be the Billo. Obviously, I haven't even opened it yet, so I'll be building that tonight. I want to get at least a week, so I'm thinking next Tuesday, a week from today, I would be able to give it a decent review. After spending a week and putting us through its paces. I usually clear my limo out. I go through 2 tanks a day, so I don't think I'll have a problem with really testing it. I'll use it exclusively. So there you go, guys. Thank you guys for watching again. I do really, really appreciate it. Any questions, send me a message, leave a comment. I do comment back, and I do read all the comments, guys. Thank you for everything you guys say. Appreciate it, and thank you for the congrats on my daughter. Anything else, though, you know, anything you guys want to see, let me know in the comments. Please like, please subscribe, and please share it so I can get some recognition and hopefully help you guys get more stuff. But anything else, I mean, just let me know. All right, I do appreciate it, guys. Thank you for watching. I never gave it my final rating. Huh. All right. Okay. So, out of my 5 scale rating there, I'm gonna give it a 4. I think for the price, for what you get, all the quality of it, and the quality of the vape especially, it gets it a 4. You know, the CLT got, I think it was a 3.5 because of the flavor. This has amazing flavor, so you don't have to worry about that. The machine oil, the leaking, and the condensation coming out. But other than that, I mean, it's a decent mod for, or I keep saying mod, guys, decent RDA for what you're getting, and I think it's something you should have. If you're looking for an RDA and you have the money to spend on it, you want something that's flavorful, get it. All right, now I blabbered on too long. I'll catch you next time.